Okay, now let's talk about how we can get LimeSurvey ready to talk with QueXS. So this is a default installation of LimeSurvey. I'm going to go to the admin page, and again I mentioned it's just got a default username and password of admin and password all in lowercase. These of course should be changed in a production environment, but we're not going to worry about that for this demonstration. So this is an install of version 5.1.14 of LimeSurvey. We're going to go to the global settings, and under interfaces here we have to enable the remote control interface. So we set it to JSON RPC, and this should be saved. Now, if you like, you could create a new user, again with a strong password that QueXS will use to interface with LimeSurvey, and then only the surveys that user has permission to will QueXS be able to communicate with LimeSurvey about. But for now, we're not going to worry about that. We'll just talk about the global setting that's required. Actually, let me go back to this page just to show you what you need. This is the URL you'll need when we're setting up the connection between QueXS and LimeSurvey. So let's go back to our QueXS backend. Now under system settings here, we need to go to the questionnaire service menu. And this is where we define our connection to LimeSurvey. So I'm just going to call this connection here LimeSurvey. Now QueXS can talk, you can have it talking to multiple instances of LimeSurvey. So if you have one interviewing team that's working on different LimeSurvey installations, that's certainly possible to do. We're just going to connect to this one testing one here today. Now what you would do in a production scenario is you would copy this URL, whatever it is on your installation, and put it in here. Now because we are testing and this is all running under Docker, they can't communicate over the localhost interface, so I've just got to put in the IP address of the backend, which I'm going to do here. But you'll notice that the style of the URL is very similar. I've just replaced localhost here with the local IP address. Okay, so again, you put in the connection details, and these of course should be stronger if you're in production. This entry URL is the URL that the interviewer would use to access LimeSurvey. So it won't be this backend URL, it'll be a front-end URL, and it's basically this part of your LimeSurvey URL string here. So instead of copying that, you'd copy this part up to the end of index.php. So we'll put that in here, and let's add that service. Great, so it's added. If it didn't add, if you got an error message, it will be because that RPC URL or your username and password is incorrect. But if it's added, then our connection between the two is now has now been made. QueXS is now talking to LimeSurvey.